And thank you, everybody, for coming. Oscar's still waving. That's good. I like that. Okay, thank you. I am delighted to be here. Yes, I am a Toastmaster. That doesn't mean I get to cook toast well or cook bread well. It means I'm a good public speaker, because that's where I've learned a lot of my craft. And so today I'm here to share some of my knowledge with you and to help you along the path. I wish I had discovered, sorry, I've got to do some maneuvering here because of my screen. There we go. I wish I had discovered public speaking at a younger age. I did a little bit of it, but not a lot, because I hate to say this, I was rather scared about getting up on stage. So it was a bit of a challenge for me. So today I'm going to share with you some things I wish I had learned when I was younger. And I'm going to get these eager students to participate in this class. So here's a little bit about what E3 is about. As Uncle Michael said, it's my company. And I am all about growing your confidence as speakers. Because when you're a confident speaker, your message is going to be heard much better than when you're timid or shy. I believe in creating compelling speeches that people want to listen to. And I can tell you right now, everybody in this class today has skills in communication. My job as a teacher is to help you strengthen those skills and also maybe give you some new skills to learn about and to try in your speaking and in your communication. I do have from my classes. Here's a few of them. The biggies, as I like to call them. One is cameras on when class is on. Can anyone tell me why I would make that a rule? Why would I make that a rule? Why wouldn't I let people just have their cameras off? Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me? I'm looking at my screen. I'm looking for a hand to go up. Let's see. Can I find a hand up? Ryan knows. Okay, Ryan, tell us.
So then we don't wander off, or we don't go leave to use the bathroom and then, just go wander off. Yeah,
it's important. When we are communicating, we're not just using our voices. We're using our faces. We're using expression. And so I really like it when cameras are on, because it allows me to really see the person's message. I'm not just hearing a voice. I'm actually seeing them today. I could have come on today because my camera was broken on this laptop. I could have come on today and delivered this class with no camera, but I can guarantee you guys wouldn't have been as engaged as if you could see something. It really helps to have the full picture. So for those that are putting their cameras on, I thank you. Some have already messaged me that their cameras aren't working. That's fine. But please, if you can, turn on your camera. Mute unless you are the speaker. That's just to help us so that I can clearly hear everybody in the class. And it also helps if only if somebody has a barking dog in their house, or somebody has a little baby brother or sister that's crying. We don't want that sound to come into our classroom. So we mute unless we are the speaker. And then I am old-fashioned. So I always say the students should have pen and paper. Now, some of you may say, well, I use a doc, or I go online to do my writing of notes. That's fine too. But please make sure you take notes, because when you take notes, it's been proven that you will soak the information in more. And then the toughest rule in my classes is to have fun. No, I'm kidding. It's not the toughest rule, but it's a rule that I find very important, because if we're not having fun while we're in class, it's not going to be a good experience for you. And I bet you won't learn as much. I always find when you're having fun, you learn more. I see Brian has a hand up. Yes, Brian.
Can you have a pencil on the paper?
Yes, pencil and paper works fine too. I like pencil because then I can erase all my mistakes on the page. So whatever you need, make sure you have it so you can take notes. Sometimes in my classes, I'll tell you when to take notes. Other times it's up to you to decide. Do I need to take a note on this? Is this important? All right. Because a lot of you are new to me, even though I've been with E3 for a while, I thought we'd play a little game. This one's called Two Truths and a Lie. So that you see 3 facts on the screen about me. I've traveled to Australia. It's the farthest place I've ever been to on this planet. I have a son that is attending the National Ballet School of Canada, and I have a YouTube channel. All right. Now, one of those things is a lie. One of those things I'm not being truthful about. Does anybody have a guess as to what I'm lying about? Cecilia has raised her hand. Oh, Cecilia knows me. Let's see. Let's see if she knows. Cecilia, what do you say?
You
Just make sure you unmute yourself for me.
haven't traveled to Australia?
Okay, Cecilia doesn't think I've traveled to Australia. All right. Now somebody else raised their hand. Let's see. Who else raised a hand? Oscar's raised his hand. Okay, go ahead, Oscar.
You don't have a YouTube channel because you have to get a lot of equipment to do it.
I don't have a YouTube channel. Okay. And then I see Fiona in grade 5 has an answer here. Let's see what Fiona has to say.
You don't have a son that
Go ahead,
attends
Fiona. Yep.
this Ballet School of Canada?
Wow, we've got some equal amounts here. Everyone's picked a different thing. Let's see. Can somebody break this tie? Let's hear from Grace. Grace is swiveling in her chair.
I think
What's Grace say?
I think you haven't traveled to Australia.
Okay. Grace thinks I haven't been to Australia. Oh, we got a tag team here of Terrence and Maya. What do you guys think?
I think you don't have a son that attends the Ballet School of Canada.
Oh, okay. Another one for the ballet school. Johnny, I think, had his hand up. Let's hear what Johnny has to say.
I don't think you have a son that attends the Ballet School of Canada.
Oh, okay. So a couple of votes for the ballet school. All right. Should I reveal? Or does anyone else want to guess before I reveal? I want to make sure I got all the guesses in. Is there any more guesses? Oh, I got 2 more. Tiffany and Landy. Okay, Tiffany, go ahead.
I think it's the ballet school.
Another one for the ballet school. Interesting. Landy, what do you think?
I think it's the ballet school too.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of guesses for the ballet school. Oh, Brian's back.
I think it's
What's
the ballet
Brian
school.
thinking? And then I'll go to Lionel.
I think it's the
You think
ballet
it's the
school.
ballet school. It's getting to be a landslide here. Okay, Lionel, do you have a guess?
Yes, I think it's a ballet school.
Another one for the ballet school. Well, I'll do my big reveal. I'll go in reverse order. I have a YouTube channel. Oh, who would have thought this old guy would have a YouTube channel? Now, somebody said you need a lot of equipment. That might be true. My YouTube channel is kind of boring, I guess, in some ways. I don't go on there a lot and do a lot of, hey, hit the subscribe button, and hey, make sure you click the bell to get notifications. But I do have a YouTube channel where I post speeches that I have done as a Toastmaster. And I have, I think, almost maybe 40 speeches posted that you could go watch if you wanted to. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I will tell you that right now. I'm not going to lie about that. I only have 23 subscribers. So if you want to go and find me on YouTube and subscribe, I would certainly appreciate it. Yes, Brian?
I have a YouTube channel. Well, I only need an iPad.
That's true. You only need a camera, really.
And my cousin
hey, it
also
does
has a
have-
YouTube channel, and he has almost 110 subscribers, and he only had it for 1 month.
Wow. Wow. Maybe I should hire him to help me with my subscribers.
And he has 15.
Some people are asking me for my channel handle. It's my name, Steve Elliot. Hopefully you find it. 21 or 22 subscribers. And you'll see all my speeches at Toastmasters, including the very first speech I ever delivered at Toastmasters 8 years ago. All right, so that was true. We're now down to the ballet school and traveling to Melbourne, Australia, or to Australia. All right. The next truth is I have a son at the National Ballet School of Canada. What?
But
I don't look like I could dance. How can I have a son that can dance? But I do. I'm the proud father of 2 boys, Derek and James. And Derek is the one at the ballet school. He is 16 years old. He's been there since grade 6. I had to think about that. He's been there since grade 6. So he is now in grade 11. And every year he has to audition to stay in the school. They don't just let you stay in. He loves ballet and dance. I don't know if anyone else here likes to dance or does organized dancing. Oh, I'm seeing hands go up. That's good. So there you go. You too may be at the Ballet School of Canada one day. Yes, Sophie.
I don't go to Ballet School of Canada, but there's something called e-dance.
Oh, I've heard of that. Are you a member of that?
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
And I started when I was 4 years old.
Very cool. Yeah, Derek started when he was, I think, about your age, actually. He went to a dance camp in the summer, loved it so much, and just kept going back. Then he got into competitive dancing, and now he's at the Ballet School of Canada. So I'm trying to remember who thought I was lying about Australia. I think it was Cecilia, but I don't know if anyone else thought that was the lie. So Cecilia, congratulations. You are correct. That would have been true if COVID hadn't come, because Derek was going to go to Australia to learn about ballet in July. But obviously with COVID, that got canceled. So I have not been to Australia. So there you go. There's the lie for me. Now we have maybe a couple of minutes here. Does anybody want to try to stump me and tell me 3 things about them, which one of them is going to be a lie? 2 of them will be true, and 1 will be a lie. I have a hand up. Let me see who this young... Okay, Ryan's going to try to stump me. Okay, Ryan, go ahead.
I play rep hockey.
Okay.
I live in Toronto,
Okay.
and I like to read books.
Now, these are interesting. Lives in Toronto, plays rep hockey, which is very high skill hockey, and he likes to read books. Now, I'm going to call on the audience. Does anyone in the audience think they know what he might be lying about? Oh, no. Oh, Jack may know. Jack's got some help for me. Jack?
You don't like to read books?
Ah, we don't think Ryan doesn't like to read books. Interesting. And Fiona's put her hand up. Fiona's going to help me.
he doesn't play like the rap hockey.
He doesn't play rep hockey. Okay. And then we'll go to Sophie. What do you think, Sophie, he might be lying about?
Rap hockey.
Another one for rep hockey. 1 for books, 2 for rep hockey. I'm going to go to a final helper, Terrence and Maya.
I think he doesn't like read books.
You don't think he likes to read books. Okay, so I got a 2 for 2 tie. Everyone thinks he lives in Toronto, but we think he's lying about the hockey or the books. Now, I have to tell you, I've been studying Ryan this whole time, and he's got a good poker face. I don't know which one he's lying about. There's been no smiles. There's been no, So let's see. I'm going to go with Jack, Terrence, and Maya, and I'm going to go with the books. Oh, did they say books? I don't know. I'm going with books.
Was it, I play in rep hockey. I like to read books. I don't like to read books, or
It was, I play rep hockey. I live in Toronto. I like to read books. Those were your three things. I think you're lying about the books.
The lie was that I don't play rep hockey, but I always get rejected by the hockey team.
Darn it. Oh, and I looked at you and I thought, oh, he looks muscular. He looks like he's good on skates. Well, hopefully one year you get onto that rep team, Ryan. I like that you keep trying out.
So
Persistence is important, so that's very good. So the lie was hockey. So whoever said the hockey was a lie, you are correct. I should have gone with you, not with the ones that said the books was the lie. Very well done. Okay, I may have one more person. Oh, two more people, three more people. This game popular. All right, the first hand I saw go up is Tiffany. Now, hopefully we don't have multiple Tiffany's. The Tiffany's I saw has a little green rabbit that she's
Narwhal.
holding on to, I think. Go ahead, Tiffany. What are your three
The first
facts?
one is I'm allergic to coconuts. The second one is I had a cat. And the third one is I've been to the top of the CN Tower.
Oh, this is interesting. Allergic to coconuts. What was the second one? Had a cat, I think.
I had a cat.
Had a cat, all right. And has been to the top of the CN Tower. Jacob, what do you think? Oh, Jacob disappeared from my screen.
What were
Jacob, what do
the
you think?
What were the three again?
The three were I'm allergic to coconut. I had a cat, and I've been to the top of the CN Tower.
I think I'm allergic. I'm allergic to. She's allergic to coconuts. Is the most likely.
Okay, I've never known anyone allergic to coconuts. Doesn't mean it can't happen, I guess. Okay, Oscar, what do you think? Or is Oscar?
I feel like
making
it's the. I
shadows
feel
on
like
the wall?
it's the CN Tower because if the Corona hadn't started, she wouldn't have known it, and it would be true. But it was not true.
Right. Okay. So we have a vote for the CN Tower. We have a vote for coconut. I'm going to go to Fiona, and then Jack, I think, has some help for me. Fiona, what are you thinking here?
He's not allergic to coconut.
He's not. She. Is it she or he? She. It's Tiffany. Okay. She is not allergic to coconut. Okay. Cecilia, I see your hand is raised. Do you have an idea?
I think she hasn't been to the top of the CN Tower.
Another vote for CN Tower. And Jack, final vote to you.
I don't think he has a cat.
You don't think she ever had a cat. Now, she said had. She's not saying she still has it. She's saying she had a cat. Well, oh boy, I don't get, I'm going to go with the allergic to coconut. I think that is the lie. Let's see what Tiffany is going to tell us was the lie. What was the lie, Tiffany?
The lie was I've never been to the top of the CN Tower.
Oh, I should have gone with the audience on some of those. So you are allergic to coconut. Interesting. You're the
Wait, can I try?
first person I've ever met that's allergic to coconut.
Wait, can I try like this game? Can I do one?
Everybody loves this game. Okay, we're going to do one more and then we're moving to class, but there'll be chances there for you to do things too. So let me see. I have lots of hands up. I feel really bad because some of you are not going to get a chance. Let's hear from somebody that hasn't had a chance to say much today. I'm going to go with Landy. Let's go with Landy. Landy will be our final one.
So the first one is I don't love skating so much. After the second one is I like to eat fish. And this third one is I like to read books.
These are interesting ones. What was your first one again, Landy?
My first one is I don't like skating. I don't like skating.
Don't like skating. Doesn't like to eat fish too much.
No, I like to eat fish. I like to eat.
Oh, like to eat fish. Likes to eat fish. And then the books was?
I like to read books.
You like to read books. Okay. All right. Fiona's got a hand up already. Let's see if Fiona's going to help me here.
She likes skating.
She likes skating, you think is the lie. Interesting. Sophie?
She likes skating. She likes skating.
Oh, another one for like skating. Okay. Let's go to somebody I haven't heard from yet. I see a young man by the name of Michael wearing a blue and orange shirt. Michael, what do you think here? What do you think she's lying about, Michael? Just unmute, Michael, so we can hear you.
What were the options she said again?
The options she said again. Let me think these through here because there was lots of likes and don't likes. Likes to ice skate.
No, I don't like.
Don't likes to. See, I'm getting them all mixed up. Okay. Doesn't like to ice skate.
I like to eat fish.
Likes to eat fish.
And like to read books.
And likes to read books. Which one do you think she might be lying about?
Doesn't like to ice skate.
Oh, another one about ice skating. Okay, I'm going to go with the audience on this one. Since I've been wrong every other time, I'm going to go with everybody who said ice skating. Let's see what Landy's going to say was her lie.
Guys, I actually really like skating.
Oh, nice.
I do figure skates.
You like to skate, do you? How long have you been skating, Landy?
Like
how many years?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. Wow. Wow. Nice. Well, that's good. It's good to find things that you like at a young age. Thank everybody for playing with me. I really appreciate that. Okay. Now I'll get into a little bit of class here. And what I wanted to talk to you today about was informative reporting. How do we do informative reporting? The reason informative reporting or speaking to inform is so important is because it's a lot of what you're going to be doing at school right now. The teacher's going to say things like, I'd like a report on global warming. I want you to give us a report on that book you've just read. I'd like you to give me a report on Einstein's theory of relativity. You could be asked to report on a lot of stuff. So it's an important skill that you can share information with an audience in a way that makes it still interesting for them to listen to. You don't want it to be boring, but you also want it to be full of the correct information. And you want your information to be properly understood. Now, I'm going to give you an example of giving a report, and I'll call on the audience to tell me what they think I did that maybe wasn't so nice or wasn't so good about my report. Okay? Now, don't focus too much on what I'm saying, focus more on how I'm saying it. How am I delivering the information to you? All right. And also, I understand from somebody on here, I can't remember who messaged me, that my lips don't always match my video today. For that, I'm sorry. It's because I'm on 2 devices, so there is a lag. So don't anyone say, oh, your video was out of sync. That's an acceptable thing right now, given that I'm on 2 devices. All right. But here we go with, oh, my phone is slopping down. Here we go with my first example of an informative report. I'll call on you guys to tell me what I maybe did wrong. Today, the weather has been really, really cold. And people are telling me that you should not go outside for any reason. Please do not go outside. It is Arctic cold. Even if you think you've bundled up, it's not going to be warm enough for you. People are also telling me that you shouldn't take pets outside today because having pets outside is not really a good thing. So yeah, there's my report. Okay, what did I do wrong? Lionel has shot me a message. He already knows what I did wrong. Sophia, what did I do wrong? Or Sophie, what did I do wrong, Sophie? And then I'm going to go to
fiddling with your hands and saying other people taking pets outside isn't good is a little bit mean.
I like those 2. Okay, Eric had his hand up. Eric, what were you going to say?
I was going to say the same thing that she did, but
Okay.
like, yeah, she said that, so I put my hand down.
So why is fiddling with my hands not a good thing, Eric?
It's not a good thing because like if you fiddle with your hands, like the audience might get distracted by your hands and like not really listen to what you're saying.
Yes. I would bet a lot of you stopped listening to what I was saying and was just watching me do things with my hands. Now, people, when they speak, they don't always know this. They don't always know that they're doing things with their hands. My first speech with Toastmasters, I thought I did a great job. Then I watched the video and I realized that for the entire speech, I went forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. And I kept going back and forth. Now, I didn't know I was even doing it, but that's what can happen when you get nervous. Okay, here comes report 2. Tell me what you think I'm doing wrong. So like, it's going to get like cold out and stuff. And like, you know, when it gets cold out and stuff, like it's better if you don't, it's just better you don't go out. Okay. Like, just don't do it. Thank you. Okay. What was wrong? What was wrong with that? Ryan, what was wrong with that, Ryan?
You said like too much.
Well, yeah. We don't even realize we're saying these words sometimes, but they
And
come
it's
out.
really annoying.
What was that?
It's really annoying when a lot of people say it too much.
It is a lot. It is annoying. And you start to hear it all the time. I want to hear from Terrence and Maya.
So you weren't making eye contact and you are not like sounding very enthusiastic.
And you were stuttering.
Now, why is eye contact important, guys? What, Terrence and Maya, let's have you follow up on that. Why is it important that I look at the camera and not up in the sky or in other places?
Because the reader wants to know that you're talking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it establishes connection. If I'm looking down, the impression I give off is I'm not really confident because I can't look you in the eye. It may even indicate that I'm lying about what I'm saying. And you never want to be doing that when you're trying to share information, because then the audience is going to think, is he really confident in what he's saying? Because he's looking down. He's not even looking me in the eye. So eye contact is big and crutch words are big. I had a professor at the University of York. Every sentence ended in okay. I kid you not. So for her lecture, I'd like you to open your textbooks, okay? Turn to page 25, okay? Who'd like to read the first page for me? Okay. By the end of the first lecture, I'd spent more time counting how many times she said okay than actually listening to her. So you don't want to get caught up with crutch words or filler words, as we call them. They can just creep in and we don't even know it. Okay, final example of a report. I'm standing here today in front of the building. The building is on fire. There's about 450 people that are being evacuated from the building and they are going out very quickly. Now, I want you all to listen to me. Please do not come to this area. Do you understand? Please do not come to this area. Thank you. All right. What was wrong? What was wrong with that? I'm going to go to screen 2. I've been focusing a lot on screen 1. I'd like to hear from Johnny. And then I'm going to go to Bonnie.
Pretty much you were talking way too fast.
It was hard to understand me?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Bonnie, what are you saying here?
Yeah, like you are talking too fast and we can't really even hear properly what you're saying.
Right. And it happens. People get nervous. They don't even realize. I had a student once, did a speech in class. I said I wanted it to be a 4-minute speech. When they finished their speech, they were 3 minutes. They said, oh my God, I've never been 3 minutes. I said, well, you were talking fast. That's why. So they shared the same information, but they crammed it into 3 minutes because they were talking so fast. And that's another common thing that can happen to speakers is they talk too fast. And the problem there is you lose the message. You can't really understand everything they're trying to say. So these are some common missteps that will happen sometimes when people are giving reports. So it's now time for the audience to give reports. I showed you some things that maybe weren't so good. Maybe we'll see some good reporters here. Share with us what they are going to share. Now, remember, when you do a report, here are some of the things you've got to consider. Who's involved in the report? What do these people need to know about what's going on in the report? In that last example where I was talking way too fast, I was trying to communicate that there was a fire and that people had been evacuated. So who is the audience? Who are you talking to here? The details are always important in a report. You got to be detailed. You got to say things that would be relevant to your audience. And then, of course, what location? Where are you in this report? Why is it important that See, I'm not good with this because I'm blitzed by a screen. Let's see. Can I go back? I cannot go back. Why can't I go back? Oh, here I go. Okay. I found it. Okay. And then when is this event coming up or is it happening now? Why? Why does the audience need to know this? And then the hows of the report. How is this happening? How is it going to happen? How did it happen? And when I think of reports, I want us to think of news reporters because news at delivering the news in such a way that we all understand what's going on in the world. So hopefully you've seen a news report or a news reporter, and they always give the facts in a very nice manner. They don't speak fast. I haven't seen a news reporter yet who fidgets or looks awkward on the camera. They look right at the camera and make good eye contact. All those things that make for a good news reporter also would make for a good report in school or a good report online, which is what we're about to do. So it's time for you guys to deliver the news. Now, we can do this two ways. I can either give you a headline, in which case you'll have to make up the report, and that's okay. Normally we'd say, oh, facts are very important. They must be correct. But if you want to make something up, you can go ahead and make something up for these headlines because these are going to be almost too strange to be true, but they are true headlines that I found in various news sources around the world. Or you can tell us about news that's in your world, and I'll share with you some examples for that. I want to hear the details. Give us the details, no matter which way you go. And don't forget your sign off. Does everyone know what a sign off is? When I say a news reporter does a sign off, yes, Ryan knows.
It's like a conclusion or like the ending where you're like, okay, thank you. Or I'm pretty sure that's a sign off.
A sign off is an ending. You're right. And it's when the person says, I'm Steve Elliott reporting for City TV News. That's their sign off. So I want to hear your sign off at the end. That way we'll know your report is concluded. All right. So your name, you can decide what news channel you want to be from, who you're doing this report for. All right. If you want to do something that is in your own world, think of things that you've recently accomplished. Maybe something's happened at your school recently. Maybe you've got a new pet, or maybe you've got a new toy for Christmas that you want to report on. Maybe you've heard of a heartwarming story. Maybe something good's happened to your parents recently. All right. So I'm going to call on the audience to become our reporters. You're going to tell me, Steve, I want a made up headline, or Steve, I'm going to report on something in my life. And then you're going to deliver a short report on it. Doesn't have to be long, short report, just giving us some of the details of that report or that news. Okay, is it clear for everybody? All right, I see a hand has already gone up. Johnny wants to be the first reporter.
Oh, no, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, Johnny.
Does it have to be like a real news channel or a real event?
Well, if you get my made up ones, it's going to be, they're headlines that happened. Now, I'm not going to hold you to the facts of those. You make up what other facts you want. If it's something that's happened in your life, I'd like it to be based on some sort of reality. So yes, make sure you use relevant facts. If it's something that's a real life event that's happened to you or that's happening in your house right now. Okay.
Okay.
We can be a little creative and have a little fun. Some of these headlines are pretty wacky. I'll give you an example of one. Russian city hires a cat chief to care for stray cats in the city. So if I gave that as a headline, somebody's now going to have to make a report about it. What's this chief doing? How many stray cats does the city have? Those kinds of things. So it could be a little bit of fun. Okay. Do I have a reporter who'd like to volunteer? I'm scanning the crowd. Scanning the crowd. No hands are up for this. So I will pick a reporter. I will pick somebody. Let's see, who shall I pick? Oh, Johnny's hand's back up. Does he want to volunteer or does he have another question? Let's hear. Johnny, go ahead.
I would like to volunteer.
Nice. Okay, would you like a headline from my list or do you want to tell us something about that's happened in your life recently that's good news?
I would like a headline from your list.
A headline from my list. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming to you from the news desk in Toronto. We have our reporter out in the field, Johnny. Johnny is in a German town. The German town has a sweet problem. Why? Because chocolate has come all over the streets because of a tractor of chocolate spilling in the middle of the road, causing a chocolate flood to happen. Johnny, give us the details. What's going on with this chocolate flood in Germany?
Thank you, Steve. Well, you see, the reason why there was a giant flood is because the tractor obviously spilled its chocolate because the driver was sleeping in his truck, and resulting in the cause of the chocolate flooding the chocolate factory, making a bigger chocolate flood. So now the residents of Germany, they have to go on their rooftops, but don't worry about food problems. They could just jump in for a swim and drink some chocolate. Back to you, Steve.
All right, Johnny, can I get your sign off?
Oh, this has been Johnny from Steve Elliot News.
I love it. I have my own news channel. Wow, Johnny, you nailed that one. Loved your warm greeting at the start. You sounded very professional, and your pacing was beautiful. Not too rushed at all. Really enjoyed that report. Very nicely done. Thank you for being first. First is always tough. All right. Do I have another volunteer? Oh, I see Brian has a hand up. Okay, Brian, do you want a headline from my list, or do you want to tell us something that's going on in your life?
I want one from your list.
One from my list. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm at the anchor desk in Toronto. Today, we have a reporter named Brian who's coming to us from India, where the Indian Army today has discovered footprints in the snow that they believe belong to, you guessed it, Bigfoot or the Yeti. Brian, can you give us some details here? What's going on? You're in the Himalaya mountains, by the way, where these footprints have been found. Tell us what's going on. Is there concern for people's safety?
I don't believe there's a Bigfoot. The footsteps were still very big, and they were followed by smaller footsteps. And the army is going there to check it out. And some of them believe that they actually saw Bigfoot. This is Brian signing off.
Nicely done, Brian. Nicely done. Yeah, I don't know if the Yeti exists. Part of me thinks it would be kind of cool if there was, but then part of me says, wouldn't somebody have discovered it already? Apparently, that was a true headline, that the Indian Army did find huge footsteps. They did believe it belonged to a Yeti. I don't know if they ever found them. Loved your report, Brian. You had a nice You had a nice sign off. And I like the details you provided us there. Now, just be mindful. There was a few ums in there, but that's because you're doing a natural delivery. And I love natural over unnatural. So nicely done. All right. Now I've got lots of hands up. Oh, my goodness. Lots of reporters want to go. Let's go to Oscar. Let's go to Oscar next. Oscar, do you want one from my list, or do you have good news you'd like to share from your life?
Mine means there was a chocolate spill up in the lake on the Ontario Rio's lakes. It seemed to be spreading around the lake and maybe making people sick, all from the sugariness of the water of the chocolate that made.
Any other details for us, Oscar?
It seemed like all the people that were that saw it seemed to call some people to help, but most of them did not call, and they just took pictures. They seemed like they're really interesting, but it seemed like a terrible accident.
Nice. Now let's have your sign off, Oscar.
This is Brian signing off.
He didn't even use the right name, but okay, he signed off.
Good. Steven, excuse
thank
me.
you, Oscar. Yes.
There's a student, Lanel. Lanel been raising hand since the beginning 1 hour ago. And if you can call Lanel.
He doesn't have a camera on though. Okay, we'll let him go. We'll let it go. Okay, yeah, we'll have him come in. He's been private messaging me. Yes, I've been seeing him. I wanted to make sure.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you.
He doesn't have one. Okay, sorry, Lionel.
Yes,
Didn't know
Lionel
that.
or Lionel?
We'll go to Lionel next. Well, I pronounce it Lionel, but maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. We'll hear from him in a second. First, I just want to say to Oscar, that was a very nice report. I liked how you kind of took some of the information from a previous report and made it Canadian and talked about it being in Lake Ontario. Nicely done. There was a slight gap there at one point, and I said, oh, do you have more details to share? So if you think you're done, you can just wrap up. Otherwise, you went on with some more details, which was good, and then you gave a nice little wrap up. So nicely done. Okay, we're going to go to Lionel next. Lionel, do you want a headline from my list, or is there something in your world you'd like to tell us about?
A headline from your list.
Okay, a headline from my list. All right. Good afternoon. I'm Steve Elliot at the Anchor Desk, and today we have our reporter Lionel, who is standing by in downtown Toronto. Lionel is standing in front of an apartment building where a woman today was found to have 300 cats in her apartment, her 2-bedroom apartment. Lionel, can you tell us more details about what's going on with these cats? And is anyone concerned for their well-being?
Yes.
All right, let's hear your report from the cat lady.
People think that the original number of cats was 3,050, but eventually some of them died of hunger, and some of them, and one of them died of a cat scratching. And the woman is found to almost gone bankrupt because she has to buy a lot of cat food. This is Lionel signing off.
I can imagine that would be a huge cost. Oh. Okay, Lionel, let's hear your sign off. I'm sorry, I stepped over it there. Go ahead, say your sign off.
This is Lionel signing off for ST News.
Ah, like that, STV. Nice. Very well done, sir. Yes, that would be a lot of expense for someone to have that many cats. I like that detail. I also like that you shared some tough news there, that some of the cats had died. That was an interesting piece of news to share, but you did it in a nice way that didn't make it sound sensational. You just kind of said it as a matter of fact, which was good. I also liked that once I learned to close my mouth, you did a nice sign off. So nicely done. Thank you for participating. Okay, let's see. I'm going to scan because I don't want people to be forgotten here. Now, I can guarantee you I'm not going to get to you all because there's too many hands up. I apologize for that. Let's go to, I want to see, make sure it's somebody that hasn't talked yet, if possible. Oh, let's go to Landy again. Let's go to Landy, and then I'll go to Ryan. Okay, Landy, do you want something from your life, or would you like something from my list?
I have one of your list, please.
From one of my lists. Okay. Today in the news, it's been a crazy news day. We've got you covered here. I'm Steve Elliott from the Anchor Desk. I'm going to be throwing it to our reporter, Landy, who's standing by at NASA, where today they discovered a giant asteroid was flying by Earth. And you're not going to believe this, folks. It looks like the asteroid looked like it was wearing a face mask. I'd like to hear from Landy about the details of this crazy discovery. Landy, what's going on with this asteroid?
So it's like this. It's like nobody like very believed by the giant flying one, but we saw it, but someone think it is true, but it's not true. And it's like, it's not very believable. How do you like get in? And after you saw it, and after like the bird falling over, but not big birds, like a giant bird. This is Landy signing off.
Nicely done, Landy. I like that. You brought a little humor into things, which was good. Yeah, another crazy story that is true, apparently. An asteroid looked like it had a mask on its side. Crazy, but true. So nicely done. You made it sound like it was serious. You didn't laugh. And then you gave us a little bit of humor in the report as well. So very nicely done. Okay, Ryan is up next. Ryan, do you want one from my list, or do you want something from your own life that you're going to tell us about?
Can I do it myself?
Sure you can. Go right ahead.
I'm going to go, for the first part, I'm going to go with a normal voice reporting from the Toronto news place, and then I'm going to go with my normal voice.
Okay, sounds good.
Hello, this is Bob on Bobcat News, and today we're going to be looking at a neighborhood that's very dangerous. This neighborhood, now we have Ryan in the neighborhood right now, and we are about to go to him. Thank you. I'm in the neighborhood, and I would talk about it. There was a black Porsche trying to kidnap a kid, and someone got chased by a car, and there was also car robberies, which reported the police, and the police are now searching for the car. The kid who almost got kidnapped said it's a black Porsche. So if you see him anywhere, report to the police. Thank you. Signing off, Ryan.
Nice. Nicely done. Wow. I love that, because you did vocal variety there, Ryan. You put on two voices. We haven't talked about vocal variety yet, but that's a great way to add
Very
interest.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know. I like it. Brian,
Very nice.
Ryan can be a movie director. He just directed the whole story, right?
Yeah, he did the whole story himself, which was very nice.
Like a movie. Good job, guys.
Yes, good job.
But it's real. My friend almost got kidnapped by the black Porsche.
Oh my goodness.
And then there were cops in the morning.
Wow.
Car robberies.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, you got to be vigilant when you're out there. You got to be careful.
Is it based on true story, right?
True story.
It's really scary in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, be careful, guys. Good.
Yeah, you got to be careful. All right. So remember, when you are doing a report, make sure you grab people's attention. We saw that today with some of the wonderful ways that people started their greetings when they did a report. You want to increase the audience interest. We just saw an example of that with Ryan doing vocal variety. Landy also did some with humor. So anything you can do to make the audience more interested in what's coming. And then, of course, tell the audience what to expect. What are they going to get out of this report that you're about to share? Always good to have a nice introduction. And a lot of our reports today had that. They had a nice introduction and a strong sound off. I'm really sorry we couldn't get to all the reporters that had hands up. The good news is, if you join the class, this is one of the first exercises we will do in that class. So if you didn't have a chance today to file a news report, you will when you come to class in January, because that's what we're going to use to focus on. Really appreciate everybody's passion here for informative reports. So let's hear from the audience. What have we talked about today that is important? Let's talk about, what did we learn about what not to do in a report? Some of the things that I did that you shouldn't do. Can anyone remember some of them? Let's see. Johnny has a hand up, and then I'm going to go to Bonnie.
You shouldn't talk fast and don't stutter like this.
Right. Okay. So don't talk fast. Don't add filler words. Let's see if Bonnie has something she remembers from what not to do.
You need eye contact with the audience, because they're going to be like, are you even talking to me or just playing with your
Right. Yes. And online, it's very important. Right now, it's really challenging for me because all of you are up kind of here off my phone. And I would love to be able to look at you. But if I do that, then here it looks like I'm not looking at you. So we always have to look at the camera. We cannot be spending our time looking away at other things. So it's a challenge. And eye contact is very important. Okay, Brian has his hand up. Brian, do you have another thing that we have to be careful of not doing?
I don't. I was gonna do the same thing with the annoying like that thing.
Yes.
In
The
the
crutch
camera.
words are so tough, and we sometimes don't even know we're doing them, but they can just kind of come out of our mouths. The other one that we did, oh, let's see, Landy has a hand up. Maybe she remembers the other one that I did today. Go ahead, Landy.
So you're like talking so fast. One of those is talking so fast, and after play with your hand, and it's like you just that after that is like very slow and stuff.
Right.
And the other one, if I remember, is let's see.
I think you.
Yours like
got them
not
all,
looking at us, and what's the fifth one?
Right. Right. Very good, Landy. Yeah. The one that was missing was fidgeting. So you got us the fidgeting. You don't want to be fidgeting with your hands and stuff or doing things that are going to cause a distraction to the audience. Very well done. Final question is, what is a sign-off? We'll end on an easy question. What's a sign-off? Yes, Brian.
A sign off is like when news reporters like they say their name, and then when they sign off, that means like bye, and
Yes.
I'm not going to do anything.
Exactly. That's their cue. My report is finished. Now, you wouldn't do that in a school report, obviously, but it's still important that you have a conclusion that the audience knows you're done. They know you're finished. You don't want to leave it that the audience doesn't know, oh, am I supposed to clap now or not? Am I supposed to ask questions or not? You want it to always be definitive. Well, thank you guys for a wonderful class today. We've covered a lot in our 1 hour. We learned some facts about some of our participants with 2 truths and a lie. We heard some wonderful news reports from chocolate spills to cats to asteroids to footprints in the snow. There's been lots covered. So thank you. And thank you for participating today so much in class. I really appreciate it. Oh, I'm getting thumbs up. That's always good to see. Uncle Michael, do you have anything to add to the end of this class?
Very good. Wow. Wow. Landy, Sherry even give you a heart.
Oh, that's so
Oh,
nice.
they are like, wow. That's one of the few classes only Uncle Michael doing how to ask for thumb up or thanks to teacher Stephen. Everybody to do it. They like you,
Yes,
Stephen.
They
like
like
you.
me. Oh, that's
Very
so nice.
nice.